What's up, everybody? Here with another episode of the Slackercast. I'm Greg. Joined with me, as always, is Lawrence.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Why'd you look confused? And Dustin.
What's up, yo?
Dusty with the great hair, that is. Call you by your right name.
With the gray hair? Why does it look gray?
Great,
the good
not
hair.
the good hair. I said great. I upgraded you, so.
I do have gray hair, though.
All right, so what's been going on, fellas? Any news out there that we need to touch on?
Barring Afghanistan, there was some cool stuff happening in pop culture. So
You care to?
Spider-Man trailer dropped yesterday.
it did.
Anybody watch it?
I did.
Any good?
Nah, I'm not going to spoil it for myself. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want me to spoil it, I mean, there's going to be Dr. Ock comes back.
I've heard that already, but
See, I didn't hear that.
how did you know? They announced that way
I
back.
stopped watching that superhero news because it spoils too much, man. Like, that news would have been great to walk in blind on.
They didn't put in the trailer that that the other two Spider-Men will be in there, but everybody knows that they will.
Yeah, everyone knows that.
Yeah, that's already been leaked all over the internet.
And they have the guy playing Doc Ock is the guy that played him in the original Spider-Man.
Oh, Alfred Molina, he's great.
Yeah.
He was in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He's a great dude.
Lawrence, you got a little bit of relief this week with a message that you received from something you're waiting on. You care to share about that?
I'm actually going to wait for that on a special show when I finally
You're going to reveal it?
I will do a big reveal on that.
Big reveal coming from Lawrence in the near future, maybe 4 years from now. We'll see. But, however long it takes, right? You can't rush greatness.
Yeah, you can't rush greatness, but go ahead.
I want to talk about the return of CM Punk, the best in the world. Yours was way better than mine, by the way. Your arm thing, way better than mine.
Well, I had practice because that's the Wakanda thing, too.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, we've been doing that since 2017, that movie dropped.
So did any of you watch this live?
I didn't watch it live. I watched it the next day.
I watched it the next day.
I was at work, so I couldn't watch it live, but when I got home, I stayed off the internet completely. Like when Rampage came on that night, because even though everyone knew he was going to be there, it hadn't been confirmed yet. So I'm sitting here at work and I'm avoiding my phone. My messages are going off. Shit's going crazy. I will not pull that phone out of my pocket to check it because I don't want to be spoiled. So I get home, immediately turn it on, and I gotta say I was not disappointed.
Dude, that was an Austin level pop.
I think it was big. It might have been the biggest pop of all time.
Because it was in Chicago, his hometown, and
That's number one.
It was the AEW crowd, and it's CM Punk. It's just the three trifecta. You can't get better than that. The Rock couldn't have gotten a bigger pop than that.
And so y'all both watched it, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Did you see him kind of get choked up a little bit?
Yeah, well, he did.
There was some behind the scenes footage on TikTok of him in the backstage before it happened, and he turns around right before he walks onto the ramp. He turns around and he goes, "That's for me," and then he goes and gets on the ramp. Gave me chills.
You just gave me chills saying that. Like literally, I got chills when you just said that because, man, I knew Punk was popular, but. Fuck, man, I did not realize that he was this level of popular.
The only thing that compares to that is when The Rock went and did a bunch of movies and he was out of wrestling for a year and a half, 2 years, and he showed back up, and that was the only other time I've seen a crowd go that crazy for a wrestler.
I think the only thing that hurt this from being the biggest pop of all time is the fact that there was only 17,000 people in the audience.
Because
I think if it would have been a bigger crowd, man, it would have toppled everything. I don't think anything would have compared.
Type crowd, yeah.
Oh yeah, and then. So what did y'all think of the promo that he cut when he came out there?
It was good, dude. Because you're right, he did get choked up because when they were chanting his name, you can tell he missed it. You know what I'm saying? And when he was talking about the passion being sucked out of him, I think that was a jab at WWE.
It was absolutely a jab.
Yeah, he's been talking.
He basically. Go ahead, Dustin.
They basically killed his love for wrestling.
Yeah, and that was pretty crazy.
I don't know if y'all noticed during that promo, but he said he retired. He left pro wrestling in 2005 or 4, I believe it was. I don't remember the date exactly, when he left Ring of Honor, basically. And then he came back to pro wrestling in 2021. So he's basically saying all the years that he was in WWE was not pro wrestling.
Oh, that was what I was getting at too. Like,
Yeah.
because I thought about it, I'm like, no, you were wrestling past 2005. That's a long time ago. Then I caught on to what he was saying, and it was like him taking a jab at WWE.
Yeah, and like, if my understanding is he did not watch that product, man. He wanted nothing to do with it.
Well,
Like
they wanted him. They wanted him out of Ring of Honor for a really long time, and he stayed away from WWE for a really long time. And then I think they just kind of offered him. They made him an offer he couldn't refuse. So
yeah,
Well,
I mean the money, man.
Control. Well, it said that he'd also have full creative control over his character too. Like they wouldn't interfere, but he didn't like what they were doing to other wrestlers too. It wasn't just about him. Like it was what they were treating the other guys, and he just thought it was wrong.
So Dustin, I want to talk with you about something on this. First off, I'm going to say I thought his promo knocked it out of the fucking park. I mean, it was like his promo was so good. That guy is such a good talker.
And he doesn't age. He looks the same.
And kudos to AEW for the way they did it, because if they would have brought out anyone to start that show other than CM Punk, it would have not went over well. The way they did it was perfect. But what I want to ask you, Dustin, is you've been out of the wrestling world for a long time now. Like, you just haven't cared about it, really haven't watched it, maybe dabbled with news or watched a clip here and there.
Yeah, I still follow it loosely. But
mostly you've been out of touch with it, I'd say. And you said this might be what brings you back.
Yeah. I might actually start watching wrestling again. At least I might start watching AEW. I don't know. I've tried to watch WWE a few times. I've tried to go back and forth, but I always end up I just don't like their product anymore.
It's not. I watched Raw today. Well, I say I watched Raw, but really I skimmed through it because almost everything I saw was fucking horse shit. And then,
go ahead, Greg.
And I don't enjoy that product really anymore, man. Like, SmackDown is a little better because of the people they got, but mostly it's just a shit product. They underutilize talent, which is what pisses me off the most.
Or they fire him completely.
The storylines suck.
Always done. They've kind of been doing that for a long time, which is what really turned me off from the get-go. Is they just bury the good guys, and they just are always like, John Cena was the champion for like freaking 10 years straight. Seemed like it just got tiresome.
It was, but at the same time, at least they still had good matches then. There's not even very good matches anymore, honestly.
Oh, did you see what they did to try to compete with that CM Punk return, with the Becky Lynch return and the Brock Lesnar return?
Yeah, and I'm like,
I thought that was cheap.
I'm like, that's your count. First off, the problem with that return on SummerSlam, we're jumping into SummerSlam now, but I was going to touch on that anyway, but the Becky Lynch return, sure, that's big. I mean, Becky's been out for a long time. She was fucking super popular when she was in. But they squashed someone they just put the belt on and made a big deal about them finally putting the belt on this chick. And they just fucking squashed her.
Yeah.
So like, talent. Yeah, so like all her momentum's gone now.
Exactly.
Yeah, thanks for joining, Ben. Ben, absolutely, man. That Becky Lynch return was trash.
About that is that's exactly what WCW did to the guys in their whole thing. They made the older people, they pushed them up, and the young guys they squashed down. They just didn't, give them the time of day. And the same thing. And
this is what's sad about WWE. Their answer to everything is go to the guy who got us ratings before. So what do? They bring in fucking Brock. Like, we haven't seen this before.
He had a new haircut. That was the thing.
Oh yeah, he had a man bun this time.
Lost in 30 seconds. Yeah, I know. Stupid.
What I mean, is Brock even exciting anymore? Like, I know when Brock first came in, I fucking loved Brock Lesnar.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, he squashes people a lot, but like the way they build him and the way they do the matches, even though they're short as fuck, they're usually still pretty entertaining. I mean, they'll keep you glued to it. I will say that, but it's still the same fucking formula, man. Like, what they should have done is turn Cena heel. You want to do something that competes with that? Turn Cena heel.
It worked for Hogan.
I've literally been saying they should turn Cena heel for years.
He wasn't
But
a bad heel. He did
at
do
least
it a long time.
It's got to be at least 15 years now. I've been saying turn Cena heel because when he was the prototype and then he turned into the rapper Cena, he was a heel and he was fucking awesome.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
just
And they turned him into this PG rated, like for the kids dude, and he just, I don't know, he's just not the same.
Oh, is that true?
Actually, Ben, that's what I was going to just mention. That I think it's a combination. I think Cena doesn't want to be heel, and I think the WWE doesn't want to turn him heel because it'll piss off the shareholders because of the merch and stuff like that. But
Dude,
yeah,
he can sell merch.
But that
Well, I
doesn't
mean-
make sense because like Bailey can go heel, but and she was.
well, Bailey doesn't sell a fuck ton of merch like John Cena
Okay.
does.
John
Bayley's-
Cena, like he's like top level. He's like stone cold.
he's a
Rock.
household name now.
Yeah, he's a
John
legend.
Cena's a household name.
He's a legend. I mean,
When you reach that level to where even people who don't really follow wrestling know your name, you've won. I mean,
Yeah, exactly. Only a handful of wrestlers have done that.
yeah, I mean, SummerSlam all in all wasn't a bad show. There were some decent matches on it, but fucking disappointing ending. Once again, that's how you follow up Punk. And then I watched Raw, and that was like lackluster. So
I think I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start recording both on it because I can record on my Hulu.
I'll tell you this, dude. If you're going to fuck with WWE, be ready to fast forward a lot. Like, give the segment a couple minutes. If you don't care about it, fucking fast forward to it. Fast
Oh
forward.
yeah,
to
that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I'll probably just do that.
AEW, I kind of treat the same way, but I do watch more of that than I do of
Still watching New
the other
Japan?
products. Oh, New Japan is still my favorite, dude. Even with Punk coming back, New Japan is still my top dog because they always put on fucking just killer matches.
Are Christian and Edge in AEW?
Christian and Edge.
Edge is in WWE, still in WWE. He actually made a comeback not long ago because he was supposed to have never wrestle again with his neck injury, but shitty WWE doctors kept him from that. He went to a real doctor, a good doctor, and they told him, like, yeah, dude, all you need is fucking one operation and you can wrestle again. That's literally the only good thing going on right now, Ben.
Is Christian in AEW?
He is, but it's okay, but he's just kind of
I'd heard that both of them were back in wrestling, so
he's kind of old. He's gonna fight Kenny Omega. I actually think you'll probably like Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, Dustin, and you'll probably like Malachi Black. He's interesting, but
No, he'll like Darby Allin a lot.
Yeah. Darby Allin you'll probably fucking love, but definitely give AEW a shot.
And you'll like Sting. Did you like Sting?
it's on TNT, right?
Yeah, it comes on TNT. I got a site you can watch it on if you.
I have Hulu Live, so I can record it and just go back and watch it.
All right, cool.
Dustin,
Yeah,
did
man.
you like Sting?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a huge WCW guy, but I did like Sting.
But yeah, man, CM Punk is back.
I think that's cool, and I think that's honestly good for wrestling.
I didn't.
Oh, very good for wrestling.
I'm gonna say this: a lot of people shit on AEW for their product, and they do a lot of stupid shit. I mean, there's some of it's deserved, but they did something that no other organization could do. They brought back CM Punk, so you got to give some love there.
They have Jim Ross as their announcer. Like,
Jim Ross can go away. I don't really care about him anymore.
is he not
honestly.
good anymore?
He's better than that shithead fucking whatever that guy's name with the mask is. I can't even remember now. Fucking Excalibur, that's his name. They got some guy on the commentating team that wears a lucha libre mask
What?
because he used to wrestle in it. I'm like, you're not wrestling anymore, so take the fucking mask off.
That's
You
weird.
can't because that's tradition.
Yeah, that's right. Rampage is the Friday show now. That's their new show. So
So what is it? There's Rampage, and what's the one on?
Do they have a Monday night show that goes head to head with Raw?
no, Wednesday night is Dynamite, and Friday night is Rampage.
Nice.
But all right, so I guess we're gonna get ready to jump into these lists, gentlemen. If y'all are ready, did anyone have anything else they wanted to touch on?
No, you can go ahead and this.
Yeah, they have been talking to him for over a year. So Yeah, man, that's big news in wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, CM Punk being back, like,
How
I
old
will
is
say
he?
one more thing is like I think part of the problem with WWE is they've never had they haven't had real competition since WCW, and they've kind of just been able to get away with doing whatever the fuck they want. And I think this might, you know, revive that rivalry.
Honestly,
if you
once Vince McMahon goes away and Triple H takes over, it's going to change. I think.
well, if you watch any Vince McMahon interviews, he says that they're not competition. So
Yeah, well, I think that's going to change here soon.
Yeah, I think they're worried.
all right, Dustin, well, you prepared us a nice little promo for the list here, so I'm gonna go ahead and play that. So here we go. Well, that was fucking awesome, Dustin.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
No problem.
Dude, like that iMovie shit that you have to put those together is so good. Like,
Yeah.
there's not really
It's
a
very
Windows
useful.
program that has the templates already set for you like that. You have to go out and find them.
And it's not. I mean, the hardest part of doing that is clipping the clips to plug into it, because it's.
Yeah.
Other than that, I just have to put the text in and all that. The music's already set, and it just runs it perfectly. So.
But yeah, that was awesome. So yeah, that's it. Our top 10 list this week is our top 10 NES games, which is the Nintendo Entertainment System, for those who don't know the abbreviation.
Did you ever
But,
call it NES or NES?
Oh, everyone called it NES, dude. Everyone called it NES.
I just
But,
call it Nintendo.
So before we get started here, we are missing Corey tonight. I know he did have a list. Maybe on the show next week he can unveil what his list was for this week. But yeah, because I was very curious what his list was. I'm actually disappointed he wasn't able to share it with us today. But something came up. You know, life happens. So before we get into our actual honorable mentions and such like that, I fucking loved putting together this list. I'm going to say that right off the bat. As a matter of fact, I loved it so much. I have a ton of games I'm about to name off that missed my list that are not honorable mentions, but they're like honorable mentions. And I'm going to run.
Just missed the list.
Yeah, I'm going to run through these real fast here. I got Kung Fu, Rad Racer,
Good one. That's a good one.
Rampage,
Yep.
Mega Man 2, Super Mario Brothers 2, Major League Baseball, Ice Hockey, Contra, Pro Wrestling, and Double Dragon 1.
Nice.
That's some that I really fucking wanted on this list, but I just didn't have the room to put them on there.
Yeah, Mario Brothers 2 is probably my least favorite Mario Brothers game. I did not put it on my list.
I actually fucking grew to love it later once I got better at video games. But something about that intro you made, Dustin. One of the lines you put in it is, when games were simple.
Yeah.
Let's be clear on something. Those fucking games were not simple. None of the games back then were simple.
No, but did you see the second part says simple but hard as fuck?
Hard as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did put that in.
Because
God,
they were simple in the fact that the graphics were simple, the controls were simple. I mean, you have 2 fucking buttons on a Nintendo controller, dude. Now we have 8, 9 buttons on a PlayStation controller. Like the games,
And not
themselves were
only that,
but
dude,
they were
it wasn't like killing cops and drugs
way
and all.
harder.
Yeah, they were just nice and just wholesome.
All right, so I guess who wants to go first? Dustin, it's your list. You go first.
Yeah.
All right.
Did y'all? Let me ask this before we get started. Did y'all have pictures? Because I do have pictures for mine.
I have pictures for mine.
Yeah, I do.
All right, cool. All right then. So starting with your first honorable mention, Dustin.
All right, my first honorable mention is Duck Hunt, which, if I can get the damn thing, here it is. My internet is running slow. There it goes.
Ah, classic Duck Hunt.
Classic Duck Hunt, man. They came with the gun.
Yeah,
And,
the guns.
The gun that you could shoot at your TV, and the stupid dumb dog, and the game was really fun and
Why was
easy.
the dog dumb? I like that dog.
Because that dog would piss you off every time you missed a duck. He'd pop up and fucking laugh at you.
And you want to shoot the dog, but you can't.
I would try. I promise you, I would try. I'm like, you
Yeah,
son of a bitch. What you got?
definitely
You know,
fired
what's sad is they can't make that game now because it's animal cruelty.
Well, no, they don't make the. I actually hooked up my old Nintendo at one time, and tried to play Duck Hunt, but the gun actually doesn't work on flat screen TVs.
Well, Ben gave you some love there. He said Duck Hunt was his mom's favorite game. So
It was one of my mom's favorite games too. We always enjoyed putting Duck Hunt on and seeing who could get the farthest, because the game gets really hard.
Oh yeah, it does. It gets incredibly
It's pretty
hard.
easy in the beginning. It gets your confidence up, and then
It sure does.
those later
Then it-
levels, you're like, fuck.
Oh yeah, later. Yeah, you're definitely right. It will build your confidence up, and later it will fucking crush it.
And like
Just-
you'll cheat, even when you try to cheat and put the gun like right on the TV, it'll still be too fast. Yeah. So Duck Hunt is my fifth honorable mention.
All right, man. My fifth. I guess I should load the picture up before I do this. You'll actually love the way I did my pictures here, Dustin. It's pretty good here. My fifth was a game I'm sure you played, RBI Baseball.
Yep, just missed my list.
I mentioned the Major League Baseball game earlier in my thing. That was the first baseball game I'd ever played. Then I got my hands a hold of this game, and it was like a game changer. I was like, whoa, this is fucking way better. And like, man, I spent hours playing this game. You can see the little bit of gameplay on the back there. But great game.
Yeah, I left that one off my list just because I naturally already have a lot of sports games on my list, so I just decided to leave that one off. But I did love that game, and it was better than the Major League Baseball game.
Yeah, it was a decent one. So my number 5 is, of course, Dr. Mario. Did y'all play this game?
Of course.
Yep.
Now, the only reason it's on my honorables and not my regular list is because Dr. Mario, I don't see him as the original Mario, and of course I don't want to have too many Mario games on here, but this actually inspired me to be a doctor when I was a kid. It didn't happen, of course. I ended up a janitor instead, but it's good. I mean, it's good to have dreams.
I'll have to check that out, Ben. That actually sounds really interesting to me. So thanks for mentioning.
There's quite a few TikTokers that show off their Nintendo collection. They have close to every Nintendo game, but there is a fuck ton of them. So.
Oh yeah. But yeah, not bad, Lawrence. So you know what? I'm going to come out and say it right now. I like Dr. Mario better than Tetris. I always did.
Ooh,
That's
a controversial take.
I did, man. It was harder. It was just more fun to play to me.
I don't know. I don't agree with you on that, but
a lot of people don't.
I actually had the opposite opinion. I like Tetris way better than Dr. Mario, I thought Dr. Mario was harder than Tetris.
Here, I got a Dr. Mario story for you real quick. I remember I went over to my friend's house once, and he had a Game Boy with Dr. Mario on it. And, like, you could only have, like, one saved game on there at a time, if I remember correctly. It was either that or like his mother had it like loaded up on a level that she finally reached. So I loaded up, I'm like, see it on. So I grab it and just start fucking playing it. And of course, it was so high level that like I failed instantly. And then she comes in there and she's like, "Who touched the damn Game Boy with my Dr. Mario on it?"
Oh my
You said
god!
you
I'm
did, did you?
And I'm like, "Oh, that was me. Sorry. I thought it was Tim's."
No.
And she's like, "So you know how damn long it took me to get to that level?" She's
Dude, she started ripping
she was
into you?
pissed, dude, because she was way up there.
And what'd you say?
All I could say was sorry.
That was it?
There's nothing else you can do.
You
Yeah.
little shithead.
It's like when your house burns down, nothing you can do. Everything's gone.
He did tell me I had to go home shortly after that. I wonder if that had something to do with it.
Yeah,
Probably.
that probably did.
Yeah, man, we're about to have dinner. You got to go.
Yeah. His mom was like, "Kick that motherfucker out of here."
I don't want to see his fucking face. All right, so on to you, Dustin, for your number 4.
All right, my number 4 is probably gonna piss some people off, but my number 4 is Zelda, the original Zelda.
Way fucking too low.
I can see that. I mean,
You got a
it wasn't
picture?
as good as the rest.
So the reason why it's on my list so low is because I sucked at it. So it was really hard. It was a really
Did you
hard.
load up a picture?
Yeah, it should be on there.
No, I don't think you shared it.
Am I not sharing my screen? There we go. Yeah, it was
Oh,
just
you have
really
the gold cartridge. Love. Actually, that's the Legend of. That's the Zelda 2, The
Oh,
Adventure of Link. But
well,
it's
whatever
counts
that
anyway.
was the one that I had, and I couldn't. I think it was like my dad's game or something. I couldn't play it. I fucking sucked at it. But I loved that gold cartridge, and I just couldn't not put Zelda on the list, even though I'm not a huge fan of the game. So I had to put it on my honorable mentions, though.
I think it should be higher, but it is what it is. I don't know if I mentioned that one yet in mine, or if it was in my honorables. I don't think I put it on my list, but we'll see. We'll see where this goes here. All right, my number 4 honorable mention is a game called Guerrilla War.
Whoa.
This game was like, everyone was all about Contra, but I liked this game better because like when I played Nintendo games, I was all about multiplayer games. Like having my friend over there, us sitting down and being able to play together. This game was so fucking cool because like it had all the different guns that you could get with the different shot types. You always had grenades that you could throw. Like you had unlimited grenades. And also like it had like these little things right here. I don't know if you can see the mouse, me pointing to it. But inside this, you had you were able to get inside and it turned into a tank. So like for a limited time until it took a certain amount of damage, you could drive around in the tank and just start blowing shit up. But it was an awesome game. Fun, great multiplayer game, even today.
That was the one thing that was really awesome about Nintendo was like playing together the 2-player games that you could play and beating up your little brother so that you could be the first player.
Absolutely.
Never
Lawrence,
I was a younger brother, so I was always player 2, but I enjoyed it because that was, my older brother had to be player 1.
What's funny is I was like kind of a bully when it came to that because I would not be player 2. I always had to be player 1.
Why?
I don't know. I was fucking stupid.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I don't blame you. I was the same way. I was never player 2.
It's just that you're still playing the same game. It's that like,
Nope. And like on Mario games, the first player goes first. So because
Exactly.
no, my brother's like that. Like when we played Fight Night, he'd have to be the red corner. I'm like, it's a fucking corner color. It's not even like.
it's important.
Oh, Ben Grimm just said that the unopened copy of Zelda 2 just sold for $800K.
Ben, did you buy it?
There's an original sealed Mario that sold for even more than that.
Lawrence, number 4, honorable mention.
My number 4 honorable mention is, of course, Ducktales. Y'all already know what it is.
Oh man, that's a good one.
It was a good game. I grew up watching the show. It was like reruns, but I used to see it on the Disney when they had the cartoons. Yeah, and I love this show. Darkwing Duck in this was like my childhood. Anything with a duck in it was my childhood.
I actually wanted to put that on my list, but it just missed it because of other stuff. But I loved that game.
Yeah,
I played it so many times.
It's on a lot of the top 100 lists. It's in like the top 10 or 15 games. It is a good game. I just didn't really remember it, so I didn't put it on there
and also going back to the multiplayer stuff, Chippendale's Rescue Rangers was the
Rescue Rangers,
a good multiplayer one. All right, so we're to number 3, Dustin.
All right,
honorable mention.
My number 3 honorable mention is Donkey Kong.
Got it ready to share?
The original Donkey Kong. It should be on there.
Nope. It's at your old one.
Every time?
Yes, you do.
Oh. I don't remember doing that before.
Unless you just have multiple tabs loaded up and then... Oh, Donkey Kong.
Old Donkey Kong. The old...
I never played this game.
What?
I'll say this. I never liked the game.
Really?
I was never a fan of Donkey Kong.
Is it because you sucked at it?
That had something to do with it, I'm sure, but...
That was definitely one of those games that would make you fucking rage out.
So do you play as Donkey Kong, or who is Donkey Kong? Like, is he just a boss?
He's the bad guy. He's the villain.
You play as Mario, and you're trying to save the girl from Donkey Kong.
This is technically the first Mario game, then.
Well, the first Mario game was something like it was weird. It's like it was similar to Donkey Kong, but not Donkey Kong. It's hard to explain. It was like it was a weird game, but yeah,
look
Donkey
what
Kong.
said.
I know, I saw that. All right.
So Donkey Kong's not on your list, huh? That's crazy.
I didn't like it, man.
All
right. My number 3 honorable mention is WWF King of the Ring.
Oh, nice. I almost put this on my list.
I fucking loved this game. Like, initially it was WrestleMania. That game sucked. I mean, you couldn't really do moves, but this one had Hogan, had Macho Man. It was the first game with The Undertaker. And it just had all the guys, man, and it was so fun to play. Like, they had the lockup system. I spent hours. Did it have the women's division in it? No, this was before they started trying to shove that down our throats.
They couldn't make this now.
But yeah, great game.
Yeah.
It even had the little themes, like the little MIDI themes. And Undertakers were so cool. Yeah.
Wouldn't they come out like on or was that the Sega game where they came out on like the ring?
That was the WrestleMania game. That was the only cool thing about that. Because the rest of the game sucked.
I do want to say that I'm using Bing tonight for my to get my images.
Oh, there you go.
Why? It's like I created.
Don't call me Lawrence, though. Watch your mouth.
Lawrence, you're number 3. Honorable mention.
Benjamin said something. He said top 3 games that made you want to break your controller: Ninja Turtles, Silver Surfer, and Donkey Kong.
Yep.
I don't think I ever played Silver Surfer.
Yeah, that was on when I was finding clips of hard games to put in the trailer. That was one of the top ones. I'm
going to tell you something right now, Dustin. I already see the preview for your next game on the honorable mentions, and I'm already upset. I'm going to tell you that right now.
This is going to make some people mad.
Lawrence, number 3 honorable mention.
Number 3 honorable mention, and this is kind of low, I know, Punch-Out. I know this is the Wii thing, but this Punch-Out, NES. And it falls under the category of I couldn't beat it. My older brother would play it, but I would watch him, and I tried playing it, and I sucked. I couldn't beat Punch-Out. I couldn't beat Mike Tyson in the end. I know it's extremely low. Did anyone beat Mike Tyson in that game? I don't know anyone who actually beat him.
You know what, Dustin? Load up your next one, your number 2 honorable mention, so I can get mad.
My number 2 honorable mention, and honestly, like I said before, I already have a lot of sports games on my list, so I didn't want to leave this one off the list, but I so I had to put it in honorable mentions. But Tecmo Super Bowl.
Way too low. Absolutely
I
way
remember
too
the
low.
cover used to scare me because it'd be that guy mean mugging you.
And honestly, it was because the game was another one of those games that I wasn't as good at as some of the other games. So
You know
I
what,
wouldn't say
Dustin?
that I sucked, but
I'm gonna say this, okay? This game is your number 2 honorable mention, correct?
yeah,
I remember not long ago, me and you talking about playing a game on our phones called Retro Bowl.
yeah, that's like
Going crazy about it. What's it
Yeah.
based off of, Dustin?
it is based off of Tecmo Super Bowl. But I don't know, man. There's games that I liked better than this one.
Deserves to be higher, but you know what? This is your list, so
At least he had it on a list. That wasn't even on my list.
you know what? You're done. That's it. You're done. Get out here. All right. So we're to number 2. Oh, I didn't even have it loaded up yet. I'm slacking here. My number 2 honorable mention has already been mentioned. Actually, it's Dustin was talking about the first game, or maybe this one, but Zelda 2: The Adventures of Link. This game was incredibly hard for people who were not good at that type of game.
Yeah, it was so hard. Like I don't even think I ever got past like the first.
Well, this was it was weird, man, because this was like really the first true, I guess you could call it, RPG type game I played, because this was actually the first Nintendo game I ever owned. Interesting story behind it is there was a guy at my school. Do you remember the little Tiger handheld games?
Yeah,
I do remember those.
I don't remember which one I had, but I had one that this guy wanted, and he was like, "Oh man," he's like, "I'll trade you this Nintendo game for it," and it was the gold copy of the Legend of Zelda 2. And I'm like, he's like, "Yeah, this is way better. You'll like this way better." So I traded him. I took it home. I didn't have a fucking regular Nintendo, so I had nothing to do with this game. Maybe a month or 2 down the road for my birthday, my parents bought me a regular Nintendo, so I finally got to play it. Realized instantly that it was way too fucking hard for me. But over the years, I grew to love it. So
That's good.
I'm surprised it was that low on your list. I thought it would have been higher.
Oh, there's some things that's going to shock you about my list. I'll tell you that. And Lawrence, your number 2 honorable mention?
My number 2 honorable mention is as follows. Let's see if y'all remember this. I think, Dustin, you're going to remember this. I think you'll like this. It is none other than Kid Icarus.
Okay. I can get down with that.
Kid
I don't-
Icarus was.
I never.
Oh, you don't
played-
remember this?
Nope.
It was a really fucking hard game.
It was very hard.
I think they only released certain versions in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. But it's hard, whether it's the American version, Japanese version. It's a very hard game.
Little guy with a bow and arrow could fly like slightly.
Yeah, emphasis on slightly. And
Yeah.
it was a hard game. I was a kid at the time, but it's
So
a
you flew
doozy.
like a chicken.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So we're to your number 1 honorable mention, Dustin.
All right, my number 1 honorable mention has been mentioned, but not on anyone's list. But Tetris, another game that'll make you want to rage quit.
Well, and also it will keep its theme in your head for days to come. That dun, doo, doo, dun, doo, doo, dun, doo, doo, dun, doo, doo, dun.
And I can remember just playing the game for hours and hours. And they have like phone versions you can play that are basically the same thing that I used to play all the time too. So had to put it on my list. Just it's a pretty simple game as far as like the concept, but it's hard as fuck.
Oh yeah, it's another one of those that starts out where you're like,
Starts
"Oh, this
out-
is easy."
Yeah, you're like, oh, I got this.
It's
I
the
got this.
evil.
Get into
It's,
those hard levels where they're just raining blocks down on you.
And not only that, like you need one specific type of block, and they won't fucking give
Yeah,
it
it
to
doesn't
you.
pop out. You're like, God damn it.
yeah, it's the evil brother of Snake. We're referring to the cell phones because it
Oh,
starts
yeah.
easy and then
All right,
it's
my number 1 honorable mention is Double Dragon 2: The Revenge.
Oh, this was a sick game.
I'm upset Corey isn't on the episode to talk about this, but this was a game I actually played with my friend Nolan. And like I remember we would like play it for hours on end, and his mom would get mad because I'd be over there for so long. Because it was like you could play 2 players at the same time. It says right there, 2 players, simultaneous, head-to-head action.
So what his mom used to say?
She'd eventually just tell me that I got to go because he's got to eat dinner. It's always eat dinner. What's up with that?
How come no one fed you dinner?
That's what I was saying. Like,
because we were all poor. They didn't have money for that shit. But yeah, this game was awesome, man. The spin kick, incredible. I'd still play it today with somebody if they wanted to.
I'm not doing it, Greg. I know you were trying to hint that you were trying to buy an emulator so we could play it. I don't have the time. I dash with you enough.
All right, Lawrence, your number 1 honorable mention.
Lawrence doesn't want to hang out with you, okay?
I know he doesn't.
Rygar.
That game was fucking hard too.
It was. People like Legend of Zelda got him in the sword and sandal type thing. This actually started it for me. I know I said Gladiator the movie did, but I loved the whole fantasy aspect, and it was just a fun game. It was hard though. You're right. I didn't beat it. I don't think I beat any of the games on my list.
You weren't very good at games back then, huh, Lawrence?
They were just hard, man. That's how hard
They were so hard, way harder than games are now.
All right. Well, we are to the real deal Holyfield. So number 10, Dustin.
My number 10 is Double Dragon versus Battletoads.
Well, it wasn't versus; they were teaming together.
Or yeah, Double Dragon and Battletoads together.
In his mind, they were fighting each other through their own story. You know?
So my question is, who did you like to play as, the Battletoads or the Double Dragon guys?
I don't know. Me and my brother would go back and forth, but I think I kind of liked playing with the Battletoads more than the Double Dragon guys. But that was one of the first games you could play, like Double Dragon, where you could play simultaneously with somebody. So
you know what was the funny thing about Battletoads? Is they were just like the wannabe knockoff Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, they really
were. Everyone knew that. That's exactly what they were. There's like a whole story behind it.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like, man, just give us Ninja Turtles. We don't want these damn Battletoads.
They weren't bad for the time though.
No, it was good.
Fuck with some Battletoads.
And the Battletoad games were hard as fuck too. So.
Way harder than Ninja Turtle game. Well, except that first Ninja Turtles game. That's
that first
like one of the hardest games in history.
Okay, Greg, you're up.
Oh, I am up. So let me load my number 10 here. Dustin, you will greatly appreciate my number 10.
What is it?
I hope it's on your list. My number 10 is Skate or Die.
You know, I didn't put that on my list.
Oh, what the fuck, dude?
This predates Tony Hawk.
The only reason why I didn't put it on there is because I don't remember playing it. So I guess it wasn't that good.
Dude, no, it was incredible. Like you had, like on this little screen down here. Can y'all see my mouse moving around when we do this?
Yeah.
So like on this down here, you had all the different areas you could go to, and like each one was like a different event. One might be a half pipe, one might be a skate through the city to try to wreck stuff.
I think I have played this game before.
And like you had to get like points to go to Lester's shop to buy like better boards, better stuff.
Yeah, I remember this game now. Yeah, it is a good one.
But Lester was iconic in this game, man. Like he was awesome. But Skate or Die, I fucking spent many hours on this game.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I told you mine would be the most diverse list this week, man.
I guess that was just one. A lot of the games that I put on here were games that I have fond memories of, and I guess I just don't have fond memories of that one.
Understand.
It wasn't a lot of the lists that I reviewed, though.
Yeah, Lester, man, it's all about Lester.
Yeah, Lester was.
Hey, you should do your hair like that.
Like Lester.
Just like Lester.
So what do we got here, Lawrence?
You know what that is?
I know what that is.
That's Metroid. And a lot of people will say that it's pretty low on the list. Why did you do it? Here's why. It was so hard, like in the game controls, that I couldn't get past the first level. So I couldn't enjoy it. But I like the look and the atmosphere of the Metroid games, especially this one. It looked cool. you can do cool stuff. It's just it was too hard. Destiny, did you ever play Metroid?
Yeah, I played it on the Game Boy.
I'll tell you this about
It was really hard. I
here's
didn't
the
like.
thing. Here's the thing about Metroid. You want to know what happened to me every time I tried to play Metroid? This is why I didn't fucking like the game. Every time I would get stuck in the fucking corner, rolling into a little ball, and like I didn't know what the fuck to do. Like I just get stuck the same spot every time, rolling around as a little ball, not knowing what to do. It's
you
just
get frustrated.
There was no hand holding, man. Yeah. Let me hold on. I want to ask this. So did y'all, of course we probably all did this. Did y'all do the thing to where like when your game would stop working, you'd blow in the fucking cartridge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody had to do that.
Yeah.
And then like also you put it in the machine and you like hit it up and down, up and down, up and down, thinking that's going to fucking help too.
Dude,
Yeah.
we would blow on it so hard. We got like blue in the face, and then my mom
You like
would get
take
mad.
it and just blow in it, then you take
Like
you
a
pick your
harmonica.
Nintendo up and blow in the Nintendo.
Yeah.
They had the cleaning kits with like the
I was
with,
too
like,
poor for the cleaning
Q-tips and stuff, and you had to like put the little liquid on it and like all kinds of stupid dumb shit.
Wipe the game off.
Shake that. You had to, sometimes if you like moved the game just right, or like what about when you were like playing a game and then like your brother walks by and actually accidentally bumps it with his foot or something, and then the game freezes up.
No, Justin,
yeah.
we would do this. Yeah. We'd put the fucking things in the freezer thinking that would help it. We just come
Yeah,
out.
I did that. Yeah, because someone said that worked.
Yeah.
Ben Grimm mentioned some hidden gems. Paperboy, Fester's Quest. That game was hard too.
Everyone played.
And Master Blaster.
Those are all NES games, right?
Yeah,
all of them.
Yeah, Paperboy.
All right, so
my number 9 is the original Ghostbusters game.
Don't even say it, Greg.
I don't think I ever played that one, honestly.
It was pretty hard, and like the opening of the game, you have to like pick where you're supposed to go. And I remember getting this game. I think I rented it from Blockbuster or something, and I got the game and I took it home, and I couldn't figure out how to get the game started because you have to like pick an area, and I didn't know how to work the beginning of the game, and it took me like 3 hours to figure it out. And then basically it's just I mean, you see that's the gameplay pretty much throughout the game. You get the ghosts and put them in the trap, and then you do get to like the top levels where you have to like fight I can't think of the main villain's name in
Gozer.
Yeah, you have to fight Gozer in the end. But yeah,
awesome.
You know, I never seen the movies.
I love that game.
Greg gives me shit about that all the time.
Yeah, he's never seen the Ghostbusters movies.
What?
It's not on Netflix or Hulu.
It's not. What a millennial thing to say.
Right. All right, my number 9 is another game I liked because it was multiplayer. Oh fuck! It went away here. Let me load it back up. There it is. River City Ransom.
I saw that on the list. I've never played that game.
Dude, this game was awesome because like it was like Double Dragon, but like more fun because what would happen in this game all the time is like you'd be playing with a friend because it was multiplayer. And like you had all these little weapons lying around that you could use. It'd be like spare tires, fucking pipes, and such like that. But every weapon in the game, you could swing it or you could throw it.
Whoa.
So you'd end up hitting the wrong button and throwing the fucking pipe, knocking your friend in the back of the fucking head while he's trying to fight some guy. He gets pissed off at you and he wants to fight you because you just hit him in the back of the head with a pipe. And it was just it just always turned into a train wreck. So it was great.
Games, though.
Oh yeah, but it was so fun, man. Even today, they actually did a re-release on computer. It was like an updated version. I think
what's
they
the
call
story of the game? Like, what's it about? Because I remember seeing that case in your video and movie gallery, but I never was able to rent it.
2 guys, same thing as basically Double Dragon. Their girlfriend gets kidnapped and they gotta go save her.
Gotcha. But it's like in an urban environment, or like...
Well, it's based around high school, so like high school and the city surrounding it.
Okay. So of that time.
But Japanese, like imagine like high school, but the scenery is like very Japanesey.
Nice. Japanesey. It's a new word.
That's a new word.
All right. So You mentioned this before on the list. This is Rad Racer.
Rad Racer was great.
It's great. I mean, there's nothing you can really say about it, man. I feel like this predates, like a lot of racing games for me. This is a cool one to start off with.
I mean, you want to know what my memories of Rad Racer is?
Go ahead.
My brothers locking themselves in my room and playing Rad Racer, taking turns and getting high. And me coming in there after they're done and smelling nothing but all that fucking weed they smoked the whole time they were in there. And I'd always get so pissed.
That explains why you hate. No, I'm not going to say it on here.
Who plays Rad Racer and smokes pot?
My brothers.
You go
Play
faster.
something better than that.
Ah, man, they like that shit.
What the fuck? All right. Well, we're on number 8 now. My number 8 is the original Batman game.
Talk about a hard
really?
game. Oh, good image too, by the way. That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's so nostalgic.
And like you could, the opening is the best part though, because like it's in a garage and the garage door opens up and the Batmobile comes out.
Yep.
And classic side-scrolling game. You had the you could kick and punch, but you also had like the batarang that you could throw. And but yeah, super duper hard game. I think I know I never beat the game, but it was definitely fun to play.
You just skipped Lawrence.
No, his was Rad Racer.
Right, I was Rad Racer.
Oh,
You had the story
okay.
and everything.
Hold
Yeah.
on, wait. I actually I got something for you here, Dustin.
What'd you do this time, Greg?
No, Dustin mentioned how he liked the opening so much, so we're gonna share it here.
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
It is good.
Here it is. Blow that up, Greg. Full screen it. The fucking music.
Oh, my bad. Oh shit!
What the fuck, Greg?
Let's start over.
Sounds like someone farting.
That classic MIDI music, man.
Oh yeah.
Hey, that's our music for the intro, isn't it, Greg? We use that.
Come on, hit start, man. Oh, I don't think they played. I don't think they hit the start button.
Is it just the opening screen?
Probably.
It looked like when you skip past it, it goes into where he goes into the city.
We'll see here. Oh no, he's gonna do it.
Here it is. This has nothing to do with the music from the movie either.
Look, his shit's glitching out on him.
Someone probably bumped the thing.
Hey, look, Jack Nicholson Joker.
Yeah.
Why does it look like Joe Biden right there?
Yeah.
This video's kind of long.
That intro was something else.
It's glitching out.
Oh no, it's almost over. It's not gonna show it.
No. It's after that part though. That's when
It's too bad.
still iconic though. That whole
very.
thing. It's so crazy how much different games are now.
I had to play that one for Lawrence, though. I couldn't not play that opening. All right, moving on. My what are we on? Number 9, I believe, or number 8.
Number 8.
My number 8 is Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest.
I knew that was going to be on your list.
Yeah, this is the first one I played. This game was also incredibly hard. Good luck ever getting through this game without a guide. If you don't have a guide, you're not going to fucking finish it. It's
Great.
it's just damn near impossible.
You'll be happy to know he's in the new Smash Brothers, by the way. He's a character.
Simon Belmont.
He has that little whip and everything. Simon Belmont.
Now, like Castlevania 1 was also amazing, but Castlevania 2 was the first one I ever played, so I actually have more love for this one, I think.
All right. I'm going to ask you something, Greg. Do you remember this game? It's Maniac Mansion.
I do not, actually. I don't think I played it.
Nope.
Yeah,
I don't
Maniac
think
Mansion
I've ever
was
seen that game.
it was a fucked up game, and my older brother had this, and I played it a couple times with my friends, but we could never beat it or get past the dungeon level, and like later on in the game that you get past. This level. It used to freak us out, but yep, Maniac Mansion for those diehard fans, all you maniacs out there.
Hey, Jamie,
Hey,
welcome.
Jamie.
Thank you for joining.
So it's good to see you.
You got any NES games that you hold dear to your heart there, Jamie? But so Dustin, on to your number 7.
All right, my number 7 is a classic hockey game, the best Nintendo hockey game ever made, and that's Blades of Steel.
Blades of Steel was amazing.
It was when you open it up, it's like Blades of Steel, cha-ching!
Yeah, Blades of Steel.
You had like 4 or 5. I think there was like 4 or 6 teams. You could play. They had a season mode on there where you could play like it had like 4 season games, and then you played like a playoff and all that. The fighting was funny. Just
All right, so I have a confession to make. Blades of Steel did not make my list.
but I
Yeah,
saw it on your. It didn't even make your not list.
Well, this is why, because like I didn't play Blades of Steel until I had put hours upon hours into ice hockey. Like I don't know, for some reason it just escaped me and I never got to play it. And I remember when I played it, like I liked the fighting better in ice hockey because it was so random. Like it would be completely random.
Or
You had no control over it. And like the entire team got in on the fight in ice hockey.
yeah,
So like I remember we played just until a fight broke out. But
and then you would stop. What do you think you would?
oh, we'd finish the game. I mean, I'd still beat Dustin in it, of course.
No, we never played that game.
I know, but I would.
Kick my brother's ass often at Blades of Steel, though.
My number 7 is Paperboy, the original, not number 2, the original Paperboy.
That's a good one.
And I still don't know what that guy was that comes out of his house and starts chasing you down. Like, was he a serial killer?
You know, he's a pedophile. He was going to kidnap you.
Oh, you know what? I never thought about it like that. He might have been.
He's like, I don't just want the paper, you know.
This game was so fun, man. Of course, everybody tried to break the windows and vandalize the fucking houses whenever they drove through.
Wasn't there dogs that chased you and killed you?
Oh, yeah, there was dogs that chased you, too. And then you get to the end, you got the little obstacle course here that I almost always failed at.
Yeah, it sounds like
But
fun.
it was classic, man. It was fucking such a fun game.
It's not as classic or as fun as this, though, Greg. Excite Bike.
Excite Bike was a good one.
The original.
I
It's
can't
not better than
deny
Paperboy,
that.
though.
It's not better than Paperboy.
Not
I
even
mean, but Excite Bike was fun, man. You gotta admit. Did you ever play it, Dustin?
See, go ahead, Dustin.
No, I didn't. I mean, I played it, but I didn't think it was better than Paperboy. It's not on my list. I'll tell you that.
Excite Bike was good because you could create your own tracks.
Yep.
That was the funnest thing about it, is to make like these impossible tracks and see if your friend could get through them.
Yeah, I forgot about that. You can do that on that game. But
Right.
all right, my number 6 is the original Ninja Turtles game.
That was one of your favorites, huh?
That was one of my favorites. It was hard as fuck.
Did you ever beat it?
I think I did actually beat it.
Liar!
I don't know, but I honestly, I mean, I can't say with 100% certainty, but I feel like I did beat that game, or at least come close to it. I did beat the water level, so, but that water level will make you break something.
Hey, look at this.
I'm going to tell you now. Tetris and Mario Brothers, that's about all I remember of that era, okay? I played more Atari than Nintendo. Yeah, I played that as well. PS4, Xbox 360. Fatal Frame 2 was a great game. It's like one of the scariest games of the modern generation. It's a really creepy game.
Bengram says I was really into NES or NES horror games like Friday the 13th, Ghosts and Goblins. Oh, nice one. Monster Party and Werewolf the Last Warriors.
I don't think I played Werewolf the Last Warrior. I haven't even heard of that. I gotta look it up.
I also loved the Turtles arcade game. That one, the Turtles arcade game that was in every arcade.
I do know that.
And it had all four. It had all four turtles, and you could play up to 4 people at the same time.
Well, it's interesting you bring it up because that's my number 6.
Nice.
I fucking loved this game, man. You could play with your friend, get all the way to the end, fight Krang and Shredder. And it was hard too, man. Like when you got to the end, you would have to like really try to grind it out to get past Krang because you immediately fought Shredder right afterwards. And then you had to fight him like 2 times.
Yeah, Krang was hard too.
So just...
But like, man, like I loved all the boss battles in this thing. That's what made it so fun, and they were hard.
Yeah,
and like you always needed your friend to bring you back.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this: Do you remember like fighting with your friends over the pizza? Like someone would keep hogging all the pizza slices, and you needed it to get your energy back.
Oh,
You're like, motherfuckers! Like I needed that. You didn't even need it. You had full energy.
Brother. Hey, give me the goddamn pizza. I need the pizza. You don't need it.
What's up, Jess? How you
man?
doing, man?
Hey, Jess. It's good to see you, sir. All right, so my number 6 pick is Mega Man 2. And I only like this one because you could see his hair finally. Like he didn't have a mask. This game was
That's
hard.
not hair.
That wasn't his hair right here?
No.
What was that?
It was like basically like just some blurry kind of weird thing, but that wasn't his hair.
I thought it was his hair.
Maybe it was. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be wrong about that.
That looks like his hair, man.
Yeah, it looks like
I don't know what
freaking hair.
Because on the game, like when you play the game,
a cat. That's what it looks like. See his cat's head.
There's a cat on his head.
Yeah.
He said me and my little brother got in fistfights.
I'm telling you, man, the struggle was real.
Yeah, it was.
Dude, I have so many stories of fucking just beating the shit out of my brother over video games.
Lawrence, Mega Man 2 is incredible. It definitely deserves a spot on anyone's list.
I was a little brother getting beat up, so I can't relate to y'all's story.
Oh, that sucks. Poor guy.
Yeah, I'll beat you up, Lawrence.
So y'all were always the big brothers, both of you?
No, Greg's a little brother too. He
was.
Greg's the baby in his family of like 5. Don't you have like 5 brothers and sisters?
6.
6.
3 sisters, 3 brothers.
Oh, so you sure relate to my story, Greg. You were probably getting beat up too.
My brothers would kind of torment me, yes, but not over video games. I mean, there was a big age gap there. It was more like you're disrespecting my mom and beat the shit out of me kind of deal, as opposed to.
Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
It's like, what'd you say to mom?
No, I was the big brother. So
you were dishing out punishment, not taking it.
Jamie says our brothers got into fistfights over every video game we ever played together.
Yeah, that's pretty much it too. I mean, we would fight over everything, man. Who was going to be the first player, what game we were going to play, all kinds of shit, man.
Nothing like fighting over that pizza, though.
No, definitely. I can remember so many fights over that stupid pizza shit.
It's because it's selfish, man. If you got full energy,
especially full energy,
and you say you only got like 2 bars left, and you're gonna eat the whole damn pizza.
Imagine what they do in real life if they did that in a game, you know?
All right, Lawrence. So, oh wait, it's on to you now.
Yeah, I already did it. Yeah.
Oh, so my turn now.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, my number 5 is Mike Tyson Punch Out.
Nice picture too with all the characters.
Loved this game. Never could beat Tyson.
Really? You never beat him?
Never beat him.
We said that earlier. Yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
So you at least made it to Tyson though. So you got past Super Macho Man?
Yeah. Only a couple times though, and I stayed in an Airbnb that had one of those mini Nintendos in it, the Nintendo Classic things, and it has Punch Out on it. And I tried to play it, and I don't think I could get past the The guy there in the bottom right corner with the red hair.
Hell
Oh, oh, you talking about this guy?
Yeah.
Oh man, like he was only like the second or
Yeah,
third guy
I
you
couldn't get
fight.
past the second or third level. That's
Hold
what
on.
made me remember,
Great.
like Nintendo games and like those games from the older eras were just so much fucking harder than.
So for anyone who didn't know, that's where our logo comes
Yeah,
from.
that's what I was
Also,
gonna say. That's me and Greg in
Yeah.
the back over here.
there's me, there's Lawrence.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
but I love that game, man. Played it all the time.
Well, oh shit, kind of stole my thunder there because that is also my number 5.
Nice.
Great minds think alike.
But
Right.
I, on the other hand, did get to Tyson, did whoop his ass.
Did you
Numerous
whoop his
times.
ass though, or did you take really lots of times to beat him?
Well, like eventually, like I mean, here's what would happen. Like I would get all the way to the end, and like eventually I got so good at the game to where I could just do it like almost with my eyes closed. But the first few times when I got there, he kicked the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But so y'all all played. You played the Mike Tyson's Punch Out, right? Not that regular Punch Out with Mr. Dream instead of fucking Tyson.
No, I never played that.
I remember like
Don't
I
sleep
got.
on that one. That's a
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, there was another Punch Out game. I guess they lost the rights to Tyson, and they put out another one that was just called Punch Out. And the final guy was not Tyson. It was this guy named Mr. Dream.
Huh.
But I do want to ask this: who was your favorite, like villain boxer of the Tyson game?
Probably the guy with the mustache.
That's
The one
Bald
with Bald
The,
Bull.
He had the twirly mustache.
Oh yeah, that was what was his name?
He's like the fourth boss or the fourth or fifth guy that
With
you
a-
fight.
No, he's the second, I think.
Second? I know
Yeah,
he's
he's
early in the game.
Damn, I can't think of his name right now.
You
You
got
know
a
what,
computer in front of you. Look him up.
I'm about to.
Did you lose your light?
Yeah,
Uh,
you went all dark mode.
It's because I'm. Oh, it's making me do the robot shit. Why on earth is it making me do that for Google? Oh well, I can't pull it up, so I forget what his name was, but he was most of the guys on there, I got down the pattern pretty fast. I did
Kaiser?
Von Kaiser, that's it.
They all had different. They all had different like special moves, and you had to fight everybody a different way.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you who I struggled on for a long time was King Hippo
Yeah.
He was hard.
because I'd
What
always
about
try to punch him in the
Soda
gut.
Popinski?
Soda Popinski, I figured out fairly fast.
This
Took
flick
me a
was
long
blasting,
time.
bro.
The clown, I remember the clown in the later game, Super Punch Out. He was good too. Rock, paper, scissors for the last piece of pizza.
No, look at the comment after that one though. It's funny.
Then we'd fight over the game.
Yeah, and they would fight over.
And Ninja Turtles brought out the worst in people.
It was bad, man. That was a bad game to play.
Yep.
And there's other games like that now that you have to like share the health packs and stuff. And you're all, like, there's some stuff I played with Haley where I've yelled at her. I can remember yelling at her about taking health when I need the health, and she has full health.
All right, so moving
Greg, you're up.
on. I'm up again.
Mhm.
No, I'm not.
Lawrence, it's your turn.
Yeah, I just shared.
Oh, you both had the same game. That's what it
Yeah,
was.
we had
Yeah.
Tyson. We had Punch Out.
All right, my number 5 then is, and it was the original Legend of Zelda. Granted, I was not good at this game, but everything about the game is just so nostalgic. Like from the look, even the look of it. Like
Very
go ahead.
fine. Yeah, you had to find everything, all that stuff. It was tough. It was a tough game, man.
Like the music and just everything about Legend of Zelda is just perfect.
Did you ever finish it?
No, I never finished it. Not even gonna lie to you. I never finished any Legends. Oh, that Legend of Zelda I didn't finish. All right, Dustin.
All right, my number 4 is Double Dribble.
Classic.
Nice. This is the game you showed me, Greg.
That was the animation that you would get whenever you would
Oh yeah.
it would cut to that screen and the guy would like do a dunk, and they had like 2 or 3 different versions of it, and I played that game for hours and hours, just like Blades of Steel.
Did you play as the Celtics or the Bulls?
The Celtics, duh, all the time.
Should have played as the Bulls, man.
That Bulls.
The bald guy with no face was Jordan.
Oh, yeah. Dude, you know what I forgot to put on the list is Jordan versus Bird. Do you remember that game?
I remember that game.
Oh, that needs to be. I should have put that on my list. I can't believe I forgot about that game. It had the slam dunk contest in it.
Yes, it did.
And the 3-point contest.
Fucking classic game.
That game was so fun, man. Damn,
who was better in that game?
Whoever won.
Yeah, like Larry Bird wasn't in the dunk contest. You did the 3-point contest with Larry Bird. You did the dunk contest with Jordan.
Yep.
But
it was pretty addicting, Jamie.
That game was fun. I might actually have to go see if I can find that game just so I can have it.
You should, man, because it'd be a class. I mean, especially with you being a Celtics fan.
Yeah,
it's like a must-own for you.
It had Jordan and Bird on the like sticker that's on the game.
Yep.
They're like facing off against each other.
Because that was a big thing back then, man. So who would win? 1-on-1, Jordan versus Bird.
Magic versus Bird, right? No, it was Jordan versus Bird, wasn't it? Or
yeah, it was Jordan versus Bird.
It's because, I mean, Magic and Bird had a different kind of rivalry. The Jordan Bird thing was Bird was the GOAT at the time, and Jordan was the younger guy. So like LeBron type versus battle, sort of.
Pretty much, yeah.
To put it in young people terms, it was like Kobe versus LeBron.
Well, my next one is a game that's already been mentioned, but it deserved to be much higher. Number 4, Tecmo Super Bowl.
Oh,
I love that cover, dude. It used to creep me out.
Dude, this is honestly my favorite football game cover of all time. Better than any Madden cover ever. The dude just looks so fucking mean.
Yeah, he looks.
And Corey did point out something though, like the Tecmo Bowl cover is the dude even looks even more pissed off.
Why does it say Super Bowl though? It shouldn't say. Oh, it says Tecmo Super Bowl. I see it now.
Yeah, because this was the second game. The original was Tecmo Bowl. It didn't have all 32 or 28 teams at the time.
And didn't Tecmo Super Bowl? That was the one where it was first. They had player names in it, right?
Yes. Well, no, the first one did too. The first one had player names.
Yeah,
but
that was the big claim to fame on it too.
So here's a piece of trivia for y'all. Who is QB Bills in this game?
Jim Kelly.
Dustin got it.
Duh.
Yeah. This was the one that had Bo Jackson, who was absolutely unstoppable because
it had Barry Saunders in it, right?
Dude, look at the features. Look at what they're featuring. Save game results, real-time players, 17-week season.
Save game result. Dude, remember those games that you couldn't save? And you'd have to you'd have to like leave your Nintendo on all night and hope that it didn't freeze up on you.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Dude, I will still go back sometimes and play Tecmo Super Bowl. Just to play through a season on it.
Greg, share my screen. I went ahead and pulled up the
Jordan versus Bird.
Okay,
yeah.
Yeah. It was a 1-on-1, and it had a dunk contest and a 3-point contest, and that was the game. And look, I can buy that shit for $10. I will probably buy that.
Dude, you should just to have it in your collection.
Did Jordan and Bird ever do 1-on-1? That'd be sweet if there's footage of it.
I don't think there's any footage of it.
I'm sure
they played 1-on-1 though,
and I'm sure Bird got beat.
Plus, there's a lot of there's a great story about the Dream Team and them scrimmaging against each other. The older guard, and the newer guard going against each other. So, you should check that out.
Yeah, that game was so good, man. I should have had that in my honorable mentions.
I can't believe I forgot about it, man. Dude, I used to play that game all the time, and I play with my brother, like my dad. Me and my dad played it all the time too.
Dude, I kid you not. This list for me could have been fucking miles long with the amount of games that I loved on the NES.
Yeah, I actually rewrote my list again.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
I was like, I don't like the order of this, so I did it again.
All right, so moving on, we're at number 3. Or no, actually, yeah, Lawrence, you still have your number
Yeah,
4.
4. Nothing special. It's just the original Mario Brothers.
Oh.
Classic. I had this on Game Boy too as well, but it was the no, I think that was Super Mario Brothers World. Did you ever play that, Greg?
Yeah, that was on SNES. That was the
I
the
had
graphics on that one was like considered a big deal at the time.
Yep. But as far as the NES version, you can't have a list without Mario on there. So I mean, we all played it, and I remember him being a part of my life for like generations. So I put him in there.
Dude, Mario is still around today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And still popular. That's the thing. Like he has like, it's weird. Like his popularity never dies.
Never.
But what's the
through
story?
every generation?
What's the story on Mario? Like, why would Japanese dudes create an Italian plumber that kills? That's just beast. Like, what was what went behind that thinking? I don't know, but he's endured all these years. So
Because they're fucking geniuses, man.
yeah, that's the answer.
All right, Dustin, what do we got for number 3? Right?
Yep, my number 3 is Paperboy, the original.
Well deserved. Well deserved. I can't argue with that.
I beat this game multiple times, which is why part of the reason why it's so high on my list. But I loved playing this game. I loved breaking windows and being and vandalizing stuff. Everything about it.
Did you I love the picture you pulled up because it made me think of something. Did you ever have the thing happen to where when you knocked down the tombstones, the ghost came and chased you?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Just a really cool game. And they have that. That was on the classic NES too.
I want to get one of those just for nostalgia
Look
reasons.
what Corey said.
Mario.
Yeah, Mario's the CM Punk of video games. That's
Speaking of that, did you guys notice that they recreated that CM Punk Mario shirt for John Cena?
Yeah, because that was a big deal. John Cena was wearing a Mario style shirt. I didn't know it came from.
He was wearing a Mario style shirt, and apparently that was an old CM Punk design that they just put John Cena on.
Is that their way of trying to cash in on Punk being back,
Or
cashing
yeah,
on his
I
own
guess so.
merch?
Yeah,
I made a TikTok about it on our TikTok.
I'll have to check it out.
I have to check it out.
I haven't been doing much social media lately.
Yeah,
But
I lost 7 people at my job. I've just been bogged down at work.
same at mine, dude. It's a nightmare everywhere. We'll touch on that after the list is over, or woes, I guess. All right, so my number 3 is a game that I remember watching my mother play. I think more than even I played it. Super Mario Brothers 3.
Oh.
The best Mario to come from that system. I mean, everybody
It is,
loved this
I mean.
game. You had the worlds, like it was different than the other Mario games. They introduced all the different worlds and like the different like moving around. You had to unlock this to move here, and it was just awesome, man. Each castle had its own little Koopa boss. How did y'all feel about the swimming levels in the Mario games?
I
Some of
liked
them are
them.
really
I
hard.
loved them. They're really hard, yeah, but they were cool.
Yeah, I always fucking hated the swimming levels, unless you had that right there, that frog suit. That frog suit made things so much easier.
That's your number 3?
Yeah, man, because I have like it's close to my heart because, dude, my mom and my sister-in-law, my brother's wife Jackie, would sit down and literally play that game for fucking hours. Corey can vouch for that, man. He was over there a few times when they did it too. They would play that shit for hours on end. And of course, this is what would happen every time. They'd get stuck on a level or something, and they'd call me in there to beat it for them. So they're like, hey, come in here. We can't get past this level.
I used to have to get my little brother to do that for me sometimes because he was better at some games than I was. So I'd be
Yeah,
like,
man.
"Hey,
It's a good game, and it's close to my heart because it's memories of my mother playing it. So
well, I'm surprised to see what your is above those."
But I like Jamie's comment here. She says, I love the swim levels because they made my brother nuts. It's funny when he gets mad. I feel that way about Greg. It's funny when Greg gets mad.
yeah, he loves it.
All right, Lawrence, what's your number 3?
2. No, 3. He's on 3.
3, I'm on 3. It's Tetris. Because I remember being 4 years old when this was out, and I remember playing it. It was hard, and I play it now. It's still hard. So it's one of them games that never changes. It's universal. My brothers play it to this day. It reinvents. It doesn't have to reinvent itself. It's just a classic, timeless game. So it's like
true.
my earliest memory of games is Tetris.
That's your number 2. That's your number 3, right?
That's my number 3. Yep. So Dustin.
So we're to the final 2. Your favorite games on the NES. I'm curious, Dustin.
All right, my number 2 is the first Mario Brothers, the Super Mario Brothers.
Oh,
You liked
nice.
it. You liked it more than 3, huh?
I haven't said 3 yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was a toss up between them for me.
But Super Mario Brothers, this was the game that came with my Nintendo. It was the dual version with the that had Duck Hunt with it.
Yeah,
Where you could play Duck Hunt or Mario Brothers. Me and my little brother would play it for hours and hours.
I'll say this: like, this is my least favorite of the Mario games now, after playing others. But it was the game that I first played. Actually, I was wrong. Legend of Zelda was not the first game I played. This was the first game, because I remember we were visiting my brother in Florida, and they had this thing that they fucking call a Nintendo that I had no idea what it was. And they loaded this shit up on there, and I started playing it, and I'm like, man, this is incredible. This is way better than Atari. It's like, look at how awesome it looks. So then after that, I had to have one because I fell in love with it. But great game, beat it 1,000 times. Of course, skip levels if you can.
Yeah, I mean, if you get that World 2 or that second level in the underground level, if you can get to that little top part and run across, you can skip like half the game.
It's another one. It's another one that my mother played on the regular.
Yeah. All right, Greg, you're up.
I am up. All right, my number 2.
What is better than Mario Brothers 3, Greg?
Well, none other than the original Legend of Zelda, of course. This was the game that basically did it for me. Once I played this type of game, which even though it's considered more an adventure game than an RPG, I still consider it an RPG. And it's fucking what got me into that, man. It made RPGs my favorite genre of game. It gave me everything that I wanted out of a video game.
Didn't the music make you want to go to that world? Or just
and that's the thing too, man. Like the upgrading of the swords, all the little secrets that you could find, and it was just awesome, man. The bombs blowing up little areas on the map.
Yep. Oh man.
Yeah, it was incredible, man. I loved Legend of Zelda.
I'm probably gonna play it after we get off this. Like, I'm that hyped up. I mean, I just remember that game being so part of my childhood.
Well, be prepared for it to be very hard, and load up a guide.
I never liked Zelda. I guess because I was sucked at it. But I've never been a big RPG guy either. So.
And you know me, that's my favorite genre of games is RPGs.
Is there a reason why you don't like RPGs?
I don't know. They're just not. I mean, that's just not my thing. I mean, there's certain ones I like Super Mario RPG is probably my favorite RPG game.
It's a very good one. Very good one.
And then Final Fantasy 7.
Right on. Yep.
And 10. I think.
Did you ever finish the remake, by the way?
No.
What? Dude, why the fuck not?
I don't know, because I got a PlayStation 5.
Play it on that. It's even better on that.
I don't have a disc PS5. I have a digital.
Yes, digital
shit.
only. So yeah.
And I bought the disc version of the game because I wanted the game in the box.
Dude, you got to get that game and play it on PS5. It's incredible, especially the PS5 upgrade version. Because I'm playing the
upgrade version.
Yeah, there's an upgraded version, the upgraded graphics.
Damn, I might.
You don't even need the upgraded graphics. The game is.
Well,
I mean, it's not really upgraded graphics. It's like they put everything in 4K, like the 4K upgrade.
Well, what's funny is that my father, my girlfriend's dad, was staying with us for a little while, and he is a big. He's an Xbox guy, but he loves Final Fantasy VII, and he found out that I had it, so I had to move my PlayStation 4 out of my daughter's room downstairs so he could play Final Fantasy VII.
Jamie,
I'll play it.
I'm sorry, man.
I don't have a PS5 in my room. So I mean, I have a PS5. I don't have it on PS5.
Dude,
so.
you got to finish that game. You're a Final Fantasy VII fan.
I know, I do.
But yeah, Jamie, they're still really hard to find. I mean, the only reason I got one is because I literally had Octopop on my PC, and it would alert me every time they came in stock anywhere, and I just got lucky.
Yeah, me too. My girlfriend, one of my girlfriend's friends, he had like an epiphany and decided he was going to get rid of all his stuff, and he sold me his PS5 for like $400.
Oh, it's a steal, you lucky son of a... 'cause they're selling them still for like 1,000.
Yeah, they're still being scalped left and right. You can't get one. So,
But yeah, like I'm playing the Yuffie DLC, the one that they came out with, where you get to play as Yuffie, and it's made me want to go back and play the game again because it was so fucking good.
I'm gonna have to look into getting it on my PS5, or maybe I'll have to put my PS4 back in my room.
Just finish it. You got to finish it, man.
All right, he will, Greg.
All right, so is it so on to you, Lawrence, number 2.
Number 2 is, and Dustin, you mentioned this earlier, Duck Hunt.
Duck.
So
I don't think that's the game.
No, it's just a real dog eating a bird. But it's still nonetheless, Duck Hunt was cool because everyone remembers that fucking gun, that little orange gun. Even if you weren't playing the game, that was still cool to hold and just sit around.
Yeah, I used to play with the gun all the time when I didn't have the game on.
Get that shit off there before all the animal rights people come after us.
Well, no, I think it's during game season though, Greg. Like if it's as long as it's during like the season to hunt, then it's okay.
I'm not gonna touch that. Okay.
That's a good theory, I guess.
But that's the law. But anyways, I was saying with Duck Hunt, you're right. That's just a part of it. Everyone remembers the gun. I would actually consider buying one just to have it as like a collectible piece. So if anyone's selling the little Nintendo Duck Hunt gun,
dude, just go to the Minge flea market. I'm sure you could find it there like nothing.
Hey, have you seen cards there at that flea market?
I haven't really looked, but I'm sure someone's got them.
I've been thinking about checking out some flea markets.
I'm gonna get you an Honus Wagner card for your birthday.
Yeah,
mint condition.
Flea markets are great for hidden gems. I'll say that.
Who even was that guy? I'm just kidding.
Oh, he wasn't Babe Ruth though.
Oh, here we go. Jess got some honorable mentions here. MTV's Remote Control. Okay, Ninja Gaiden.
Yes.
Ninja Gaiden, Gaiden, however you want to say it. That should have been on my list.
Greg.
It was, and I took it off not long ago for something else. But dude, I'm telling you, I could have mentioned every single game he just mentioned right here. I could mention Skate or Die, arcade, then NES. Okay.
Oh, played on the Commodores. Nice.
Nice, Jess. I never played MTV's Remote Control though.
I remember that game, but I can remember seeing that in my head though. I don't know what did you do in that game?
I don't know. I never played it.
It's MTV's Remote Control.
I have to look this up now because. Well, is it on? Are we on me now? My number one.
Yeah, you're up, man.
All right, my number one. Greg had it way too low on his list, but Mario Brothers 3.
What are you talking about? It was my number 3. How is it too low on my list?
It should be number 1. It's the best Nintendo game ever made. And it's funny that you said that you told that story about your mom because one of my fondest memories of my dad, especially back then, because me and my dad, we didn't get along very well when I was a kid. But one of my fondest memories of my dad is my mom went out of town and she was gone for a couple days. And my little brother was still like a baby. And we put this game in, me and my dad, and we played it for hours till like 3 o'clock in the morning trying to beat it. And we got stuck on a level in like world 2 or 3. And we just played over and over and over again until we got to the end. And like everything about the game is cool. Every world has a different little boss, and all the little suits and stuff you could get. The extra game play, the like matching game, and the what was the other game where you had to like there was a matching game and then there was like a star. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what, man? You touched on something when you said that. Whenever you said that, hours would go by, wasn't that just? It's like it just escapes you when you play that game. Like you don't realize when you're playing that. Holy shit, we've been playing for 4 hours. Like it's, dude. It really does. It just goes by and you don't even notice it.
And that's why I made it my number one, because I think I have the most fondest memories of that game with my mom too. My mom used to fucking play the shit out of that game too. It would always be one of us playing with, like I would play with my mom or play with my dad. It was just one of those things that
Hey Dustin,
a fond memory.
I caught the tail end of all that. I caught most of it, but isn't it sad? Like games today, you just don't get those same stories. Like your mom's like,
don't, man.
Call of Duty. Your sister-in-law's not going to play, or your dad's not going to sit down and play any of these games today.
Very good point, Lawrence, because like most people's memories of their parents and video games now is going to be them bitching at them talking about stop being a loser and playing those fucking video games, as opposed to back in the day whenever they, it would pique their interest and they're like, what is that? Let me try that.
Well, what was cool is because it was so wholesome and corny, and it was still, simple, like you said in your trailer, that parents could play it and not feel like left out. Like everyone can play it. Kids could play it. Grandpa could play it. They were so universal,
Yeah, it wasn't overcomplicated. It looked like something like, hey, I can do that. Now when they walk by and they see you fucking performing a 60-hit combo and you're doing backflips in the fucking air and chopping someone's head off, and
you're on a 6-kill streak or something,
or you're fucking calling plays for the fucking football thing, going through an entire playbook.
We all remember when the PlayStation came out, and a lot of people's it messed with their eyes, their vision when they get done playing, and I remember my dad was playing Gran Turismo, and he got off the game and he's like, I can't fucking see. Like, he's like, all I can see is these green lines in my eyes, and it messed with his head. So he never played video games again once we got a PlayStation.
Something similar like that happens with Corey now. Like, because we used to talk about like all these different types of games that he would play too. Like, it wasn't just usually sports games. He would play other stuff, and like he said that like those games that were fast moving and such like that, they just started to get to him. Like, they gave him a headache, or like he, his eyes couldn't keep up with the shit. It just messed with his head.
Yeah, my dad couldn't play, and my mom only ever played Mario. So yeah, all that kind of stuff went by the wayside. I try to play it. My older kid isn't great at video games, so she's not really into them. But we play every once in a while. We'll play something.
So are you ready for my number one, Dustin?
I'm
the
ready.
Game that beat out Mario 3 and The Legend of Zelda?
Babe Ruth Baseball.
No, I'm not trolling. I'm not trolling anything with
You're not going to troll me tonight?
No. I mean, did you have any doubt that it would be this? Fucking Mega Man. Come on, look at my screen name.
I honestly thought more Mega Man games would have been on your list. I'm surprised.
I could have listed every single one of them on my list. My list could have been nothing but Mega Man.
What's wrong with them?
This is the story behind this. I'm going to give it to you. Like, this game is known for having one of the worst video game covers of all time because of how he looks there. I mean, look at him. This is not Mega Man. This is some guy in some blue and orange suit holding a fucking handgun.
Yeah, what is that Mega Man?
Yeah, this was the original case. This was the original art.
Fuck that guy.
But
that's not my Mega Man, dude. I don't know who that is.
But yeah, dude, Mega Man had to be my number one, dude. I have the fucking themes to most of these characters on my phone.
That's discount.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
No not Mega Man. That guy, Captain Commando.
Yeah, Dr. Wily, Mega. Yeah, but isn't that crazy? I had to use this cover for that. But yeah, this doesn't look anything like Mega. That might be the worst like cover art of all time for something, because it looks nothing like it. So Dustin, are you happy with that? My number one is Mega Man. Can you?
Yeah, I'll allow that. I'll allow it.
We'll allow it.
Still should have been Mario Brothers 3, but
Nah, man, Mega Man was a game for me.
Dustin, your story for yours is really touching. It's really good story. For the Mario 3.
Oh, hold on. Jess gave his top 10 here, so let's he says really tough. I'm sure I'm missing some, but he's got Mario 2, Simpsons, Bart versus the World. I remember that. Double Dragon. Double Dragon was great. Blades of Steel on your list also. Punch Out. My question for you, Jess, is was it the Mike Tyson's Punch Out or the Mr. Dream version of Punch Out? Look what he listed there. Dustin, Jordan versus Bird.
Yep.
Tecmo Super Bowl.
Yep.
Gauntlet. Yeah, I probably should have had Gauntlet on mine.
Yeah, Gauntlet was good.
Nose and Contra.
That Simpsons game was fun too.
So Dustin, I'm actually surprised you haven't said something to me yet.
What?
You know what wasn't on my list and not even mentioned?
What's that?
What?
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, you know what? I am surprised that wasn't on your list. I actually included that in the trailer for you, and then you didn't put it on your list.
I'll tell you why after Lawrence gives his number one.
Tell us why right now.
All right. So the reason Final Fantasy 1 or 2 is not on my list is because I didn't really care for them, honestly.
They aren't great games, honestly.
Because like the Final Fantasy games, my introduction to them was Super Nintendo. The first one I ever played was Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, and then from there it just went on and I was hooked. But like the first two games didn't really connect with me. I tried them and I was like, this is fucking too hard. I don't really care for it. And even when I went back later to play through them just to beat them, I still, man, like it was still rough for me. They're not what the SNES games were.
Yeah, they're not the best games.
Exactly. All right. So my number one, and I'm surprised you guys didn't mention.
Oh, Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
That game was tough too, man. Go ahead, Lawrence.
Yes, my number one is a game that I played on every arcade. I went like in a movie theater or anyone who ever had one. You always saw this everywhere, even on little demo packs, like you got in little Game Boys and stuff in early Nintendo systems. And it was Galaga. And the music from this and everything, it predates Star Wars for me because I'm a huge Star Wars fan as well. But this was like my space anything. This was just a great game. Did you ever get far in this game, Greg, or did you guys even play this?
I did. Like Galaga I wasn't as crazy about as like I don't know if you remember the Atari game called Asteroid.
Yeah, I remember.
Where you had that's the one that like really pissed me off. Because you got all those big fucking rocks flying at you and trying to break them up. But Galaga, I never really made it super far in Galaga, honestly.
It's a great game for anybody who hasn't played it. And when this guy with the little ray beam came, shit got real. This is whenever it got kind of crazy and wonky because he would like suck you into him and he would just drive you all crazy. And it was just everything would be flying at you.
What I do remember is like whenever you would finally get like powered up, you'd get your ship powered up good. You'd have the little ships with you firing so you could knock out more. Then you take damage or whatever happened. Like I think you died and now it's back to square one. You got the one ship. You lose your little partnerships.
And that's when it was like, and you would die and it would piss you off so much. This game made me so mad. And I never did beat it. I guess that's it, guys.
That's it. So my number one, Mega Man, of course. I mean, come on. Lawrence, number one. Galaga, and yours, Dustin, was Super Mario Brothers 3.
Which was the number one game on every single list that I looked at.
It was. I did look at that and see that.
You know what I liked about this list is like everything that everyone listed, man. Like I have no problems with it.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a problem with anyone's list.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm still mad at myself for forgetting Jordan versus Bird.
It was Atari first, Jess, but it did show itself on Nintendo, so it still does count.
Yeah.
But yeah. NES in the books. Any other fond memories that y'all had of that system, that era?
I just remember wanting a Nintendo so bad and then finally getting one and that feeling. There's so many videos too of like kids getting their Nintendo on Christmas, and I probably had the same fucking reaction.
Well, like the way my parents did it was sneaky. Like I came home from school and they pulled the classic parents routine. It was my birthday. I'm thinking, they pulled the thing. They're like, oh, well, we didn't have the money to get you anything for your birthday this year. Sorry. And here I am. I'm crushed because I'm thinking I'm going to get a Nintendo. Like I was banking on it. I was like, man. And then they're like, what's that? They're like, what's that in there on the TV? So I go in there and I look on the fucking TV and I just could lose my shit, man. I can't wait to fucking hook it up and play. Or actually, they already had it hooked up, I think. Hooked up wrong, I might add, but I did have it hooked up. So I had to hook it up right, and then we powered it on, man, and I was in heaven.
What was your first game you had that day that you were playing?
Well, even though I told you I had that Legend of Zelda, the Zelda 2 Adventures of Link game because I traded for a kid from school. But I didn't give a shit about that game. What did I do? I popped in that Mario Brothers and started playing that.
Did you get Did you get the NES that came with the gun and the Duck Hunt game?
Yeah, I had the combo
version, the Duck Hunt and the Mario Brothers together.
Yeah, because my dad enjoyed playing Duck Hunt. He loved playing Duck Hunt.
I think everybody loved playing Duck Hunt.
Yeah,
Mike Lawrence, everybody like I can remember just sitting around with that gun and playing with it.
Even when the game wasn't on, I would just sit there and click it.
I can still hear that dog, man. Every time you miss that burp, burp, burp. Or no, he laughed at you. That's right. He did the barking when you shot one.
Yeah, and he'd be like, or like this.
You know that gun was based on a loop.
Oh yeah, that one pissed me off the most is when he just covered his mouth. He's like, like, you little motherfucker.
Greg, you did that way too perfect, by the way, because that's exactly what it sounded like.
Oh, Mike, did you ever beat him, Jess? Mike Tyson.
I didn't even know there was another Punch-Out game after Mike Tyson.
I'll load it up real quick. I'll go find it real quick here. Yeah, I don't really know the story as to why it happened. I'll load up this image here. He basically just... Actually, this is kind of funny. I found a picture of him side by side by Tyson in the game. Now, let's see. Oh, that's too fucking small. I gotta find a bigger one.
Hey, Greg.
What's up?
You know why Whataburger was closed last night?
I have no idea why Whataburger was closed, but I'm sure you were very upset about it.
Yeah, it was. I passed by it, and the drive-thru was blocked with cones, and I'm sitting there like, what am I supposed to eat?
For COVID.
It's a pandemic, dude.
Yeah, it's a pandemic, man.
All right, here you go, Dustin. This was Mr. Dream.
Oh,
freak that guy. He looks stupid.
He does.
They replaced Mike Tyson for him? What's wrong with his eyes?
It's because he just got hit.
Oh, I thought it was just on coke.
It was the exact same. It was Mike Tyson's clone, same moves, same everything. There was absolutely nothing different about Mr. Dream.
Tyson got pulled because he went to prison.
Here's I'll play. I'll load this one up for you too, Dustin. This is the cover of it. This is what y'all should be doing when you share, is opening in a new tab, by the way. But for some reason, you fools can't figure it out.
Well, I have a Chromebook, so I don't know how well that would work out.
Yeah.
I use Chrome. It'll work out fine. That's the cover of it.
Huh. Weird.
Yep.
I didn't even... All right, bye, Greg.
Yeah, bye, Greg.
He does that like once a show, always.
I think he did it on accident, but we'll take over from
here. I got multiple tabs open, though. So.
Mr. Multiple tabs, he took his own tab out.
What's happened?
What happened to you, man? All those multiple tabs, you click on the wrong one?
Yeah. No, you know exactly what I did, because I usually load up the pictures from my folder, and I hit the X to close them out to take them off the screen.
Great. Use Bing, dude. It does it for you.
Just use Bing.
I don't. I usually download my pictures and have them in a folder ready to go.
Yeah,
numbered.
Because
what?
Because you're prepared.
Damn right. Every week.
Every week. Greg has his list done 4 days prior to show.
See, now you've done started something with me, Dustin. Now you got me wanting to go back and like buy some of those old Nintendo games just to have them.
Yeah, I'm probably going to end up doing that.
You got to get that Jordan versus Bird, man. If it's only $10.
Yeah, I will be.
Thanks, Jess. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Jess.
Oh, is that what it was, Corey? He got pulled out because he went to prison?
Yeah. That's what it was.
So even back then, Nintendo didn't want to associate themselves with that shit.
Well, I think he raped somebody. So they definitely didn't want him in, on their merchandise. Then.
Well, I'm going to say this. He was raping people before because he was raping me every time I got to him at the end until I finally learned how to beat him.
Oh, sure. Too much information, Greg, but yeah.
No, too much information would be that I liked it.
What? I'm sorry. Getting on. I think it's getting a little bit late.
So, Lawrence, since this technically was supposed to be your list choice this week, and Dustin came up with a better one, do you have any ideas as to what you want to do, or should we just skip you and go to Corey?
I have exactly the idea. Since this was such a success and everyone seemed to participate, N64 has got to be next.
You're just going to skip SNES?
Okay, so we have to do it in but that's more my generation was the N64.
Can we do SNES or Sega? Because I didn't have a Super Nintendo. I had a Sega.
Ooh, actually, that's not a bad idea. We'll save that for a future one, though. So that's what you want yours to be, Lawrence?
Mine would be N64. I'm a 90s guy. That was what we had.
I think we should do, because again, I had a PlayStation originally. Is
that set in stone, or did you didn't have a movie one? Anything else? You want that N64?
Well, I like the video game list. It's something different than movies.
Okay.
We can do it like this, Dustin. N64 / because they came out around the same time.
PS1, whatever you want to call it, next gen, like first next gen PlayStation. Because I didn't have a Nintendo 64.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and warn y'all with this right here. If you include the PlayStation 1 in this list compared to if we do PS1, N64, and what was the Sega competitor at the time?
Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of fucking PlayStation on my list.
That's
yeah,
fine.
well, I didn't have a Nintendo 64, so.
Why didn't you have a Nintendo 64?
I didn't have a Nintendo system after the regular Nintendo.
What? So you didn't play Mario 64? You didn't play? Oh, okay. So you missed out, man.
So
you really did.
My parents won 2 Sega Genesis in a bowling tournament. So we didn't have Super Nintendo because we already had a Sega, and my parents refused to buy it.
You're right. This is good.
And my parents refused to buy a Super Nintendo, even though I kept asking them for one. And I would do the whole the birthday rental that you could do. Remember at Blockbuster when you could rent game systems?
Oh yeah.
And you'd have a party at your house, like a slumber party or whatever with your friends. Because I don't think Street Fighter was on Sega, and that was one of my favorite games on Super Nintendo.
I'll tell you this. You want to know how I know that you could rent video games from my places? Because there's a guy that was named Todd who worked at the local Kmart in my hometown that probably hates mine and Corey's fucking guts. Or at least somebody by the name of Luke. He really hates his guts because he's the one who signed the name on some shit. But I'll wait till Corey is present to tell that story. It was back in our juvenile days.
It is set in stone. Dustin, if you want to make a promo for it, the N64 PlayStation 1 era. That's
all right.
All right.
You done fucked up on that one. Get ready. You wanted RPGs. You're gonna get RPGs.
Okay, I don't have a problem with RPGs, so I'll probably have a few myself.
Greg's list is gonna be obscure, Lawrence level obscure.
Oh, dude, it probably will. I'm not gonna lie to you. Fucking, I mean, you get Final Fantasy VII on that fucking.
Well, this was
as an option on there.
This was my era, so we're finally gonna delve into my world when I was a kid.
Yeah, because this one kind of hits you by surprise. Because when I told you that it was NES, you're like, wait a minute, because you thought it was all Nintendo.
Yeah, I thought it was Nintendo. Period. So, but
Actually, since Anthony did go through the time to make out a list, your friend Anthony, go ahead and read what his list would have been. Do you still have it?
I'll save it for the next list because it's gonna fall in line with all that stuff. I'll still have it. So.
Okay. Sounds good, man. Anyone else have anything they wanted to touch on before we head out of here?
CM Punk's first match. Does anyone know? Because I get that he's back, but when's he gonna actually wrestle?
September. It's in September. It's going to be on All Out, I believe. I can look it up for you real quick.
Who's it going to be against?
It is going to be against Darby Allin.
I was going to say, I think I've seen him. He's already cutting promos.
Because what happened with that is Darby Allin called him out. And like before he appeared, he's like said something about, best in the world and things like that.
Yeah. And that was CM Punk's whole thing.
But yeah, so it's going to be on, this is like right before our fantasy football draft. It's going to be on the All Out September 5th. So anyone who wants to see CM Punk's return, check out All Out from AEW on September 5th. I don't know if that's a pay-per-view or not, or if it's going to come on regular TV.
It's going to be pay-per-view. I don't think CM Punk would have done it for less. It's too big.
Well, I mean, he's getting paid regardless. He doesn't care.
I would say, yeah, he's making money.
Like, the details of his contract aren't even released yet, but I guarantee he's making a lot of money.
CM Punk, though, still cares about his image. Like, he didn't want to come back a year. He could have came back last year, like you said, but he didn't because there was no crowd. He has to have. A part of him needs that.
Well, his big thing was that, like you said, he wanted to come back in Chicago.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
And then the pandemic fucked things up for everybody. They could have probably done that earlier, but I'm so sick of this fucking pandemic, man.
Me too. And it's like we're backtracking now.
We really is.
It's like I remember when it first happened. I told my brothers, "This is gonna be like 3 weeks. There's nothing big about
it." Yeah, dude. Those days you're thinking, "Oh, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get." I can't remember saying that so many times. It'll be like another week or two.
I feel bad.
I
was yelling at my mom because she was panicking. She's like, "We need to go buy." I'm like, "Mom, what are you talking about? Nothing's happening.
You know what? Dying." This is what I thought of though. Like when I think about that, like this is going to be looked back on in history definitely as a major like historical event. But
this is our 9/11, dude.
The sad part about this is part of that's going to be looked back on is the fact that people mass fucking panic bought toilet paper. Fucking toilet paper.
They're doing it again.
They're doing it again
out there. I mean, it's not bad like it was before, but I mean, I've gone to places in the fucking toilet paper aisles wiped out again. It's like, what is it with that?
Look, man, if shit gets bad to the point that, we're running out of stuff like toilet paper and such like that. As long as you still have running water, you have a fucking hand, I promise you, it'll scoop enough of that out of there. And just wash your hand.
I'll tell you what, it's like the COs would say in prison. They're like, you run out of toilet paper, they'd say...
Always with the prison.
Hold on. They'd say, use your sock. They'd say, and you better not flush it down the toilet, neither mess up my toilets. So that's basically...
Is that what they used to tell you in prison?
No, I heard in a documentary.
How many prison? Could you count on one hand how many prison documentaries you've watched?
I could.
You probably need to take his shoes off.
I think. No, Dustin, you've actually been, so you know how bad it is.
It wasn't that bad.
Dude, I'd be that guy in prison who do all the stuff from like movies, doing extra shit. Like,
I didn't even have a cellmate the whole time I was there. I got lucky. I had my own cell.
You definitely got lucky.
Yeah.
I went to a crazy house, though. I did go to like a behavioral health. I was like 17 or 18 at the time. I did some stupid shit, but I went to a mental place, and I got a cellmate at the very end, but he was cool. But at first, I had no cellmate at first. I was like, this is not bad. It's like a hotel. And then it wasn't. But story for another day.
Yeah, you know my stories on that. I've shared them on the Dashing with Greg's many times, so...
Greg, you were bad, man.
Check those out if you want to hear some of my crazy past. But yeah, man, we're getting close to 2 hours here, so let's go ahead and wrap this one up, guys. Lawrence, we didn't get a Bat fans from you only Bat fans this week, so you're going to be putting one of those out soon, right?
I'm putting one out tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Wednesday, so I will have one up and ready tomorrow. Last week we did the ghost thing. That's why I kind of filled in for that.
Yeah. And we did another one that we're gonna post here soon. When are we gonna record that, by the way?
Thursday
night.
After you get off work, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. But yeah, that's got that coming up. I'm working on putting together another Creepy Classics. I'll probably try to release that Friday. It's just gonna be the story. No commentary or anything like that with it. What about you, Dustin?
Well, we're working on scheduling, but we are working on our GTS sports show. Eventually, we'll have that at some point. When me and you coordinate a date and time.
Yeah, we'll probably hit that heavy after football really starts and we start playing fantasy every week. Well,
I think, and like I said, I think I'm going to start watching wrestling again, or at least I'm going to attempt to. So maybe
I think we all should, and that can be included on that GS10 thing you were talking about just a second ago.
Well, all right. As usual,
show the Patreon.
I was getting to it right now, Lawrence. You beat me to it. Just want to say thanks to all our Patreon subscribers. We appreciate you helping us out here with the StreamYard costs. If you would like to contribute to the Patreon, you can do that with the link in the description. Also, we have our merch shop link in the description, slackercast.com. And always have it loaded up here too. Follow us at the Slackercast on Twitter and TikTok. Dustin's putting out a lot of TikTok. I'm going to try to get better at doing that in the future. But
if you like what you see, hit the like and subscribe button. Helps us
definitely
out.
Always hit that like and subscribe. And we do have an affiliate that we can make money off them if you buy their stuff. And they actually have really good stuff. I bought a t-shirt from them and it's my favorite t-shirt. They're called Sovereign. It's like a clothing company trying to get out there and put their name out in the world. Their link is also in our description, so check them out. Promo codes for both of those. Slack off for our merch shop. Slack off also for the Sovereign merch shop. So that's all we got. Until next time.
Slack off, guys.